Hello friends, in this video we will discuss one of the very important algorithm design strategy, that is divide and conquer. There are many methods of strategies of designing the algorithms like brute force, divide and conquer, dynamic programming, backtracking, greedy technique. Like that there are many methods, but one of the very famous method is divide and conquer. Here, strategy stands for one of the technique or a procedure which we can apply if there is a problem. Okay, this is one of the famous technique, not because of its catchy name. It is because of there are many very important efficient algorithms we have which are implemented using divide and conquer method. So, as the name itself suggests, if a problem is given, then that problem is divided into smaller instances of the same problem. Not exactly to any number of problems, but usually all the smaller instances will be of the same size. Then a different algorithm is employed on the smaller problem to get the solution of that smaller problem. Then the problem for the solution of the smaller problem is combined and to get the solution to the original problem. This is the general method of designing an algorithm using divide and conquer. So this diagram shows that if there is a problem of size n, then that problem is divided into two sub-problems of size n by 2 and n by 2. If they are small enough to solve, directly, then we are going to get the solution for the sub-problem 1 and solution for the sub-problem 2. If they are not small enough, again we are employing the same method recursively. We are employing the same method recursively to divide the problem to again still sub problem, that is of size n by 4 and n by 4. So there will be 4 problems. If they are not small enough, then n by 8, there will be 8 sub problems. Okay, the problems are divided into smaller instances such that the smaller instance can be solved directly. Okay, once we get the solution for those sub problems, we are going to combine the solutions, get the solution to the original problem. This is how we apply divide and conquer. We'll take some example. One example. Say for example, you are asked to find a counterfeit coin set of coins. Counterfeit coin means false coin. Out of all the genuine coins, assume there are 16 coins. You are given 16 coins, and it is being told that there is one counterfeit coin, or if it is the problem is if there are counterfeit coins, find whether the counterfeit coin exists, and if exists, find the coin. If this is the problem, then how we and counterfeit coin will be having lesser weight. It is being told it will be having lesser weight, and you are given a weighing machine. Assume this. Assume you are given a weighing machine and 16 set of coins, and counterfeit coin will be having lesser weight. If we apply the brute force method, what we can do is we can weigh the coin 1 and coin 2. If any one of it is having less weight, then we can say that this is the counterfeit coin and the solution is done. If not, then we have to compare 4 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, so on. If we apply this divide and conquer, what we can do is we can divide this set into 8 coins and 8 coins. Directly we can weigh the set of 8 coins, say it is set A and this is set B. If set A is having the less weight, then counterfeit coin exists in this set. If this is having less weight, then counterfeit coin exists in set B. If both sets are weighing same, then counterfeit coin doesn't exist. We can say that problem is solved at this instance. So assume B is having the lesser weight, so counterfeit coin exists in that. Then we can divide this again into 4 and 4. Again, say this is B1 and this is B2. Say B1 is having lesser weight. Again 2 and 2, like this. Say it is B1A and B1B. Say if this is having lesser weight, then only one coin we can compare. So how we compare comparison has happened here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In 4 comparisons, we were able to find the counterfeit coin. In this case, we need to go for 8 comparisons. So within 4 comparisons, we were able to get the counterfeit coin. We'll take one more example. So we prove that divide and conquer method is better than brute force. Divide and conquer method is better than brute force because in only 4 comparisons for this instance of problem, we have got the solution. Say if you are asked to find the sum of these numbers, say A1, A2, so on up to A. Say if we apply divide and conquer on this, say there are assume there are 8 numbers A1, A2, A3, so on up to A8. Then 4 and 4 we can divide, 2 and 2 we can divide, again 1, 1 we can divide, and we can add, we can get the solution. Whether this method is better? Definitely no one will go for this kind of summation because dividing and combining the solution will take more amount of time than addition of these numbers. So always divide and conquer will not prove that, will not suggest the best algorithm for every problem. But there are some problems for which divide and conquer strategy will work fine. And very important thing is, if we are going to apply this method on parallel computers where there are multiple number of processors, then definitely each task can be assigned to different processors and one master processor can combine the solutions. So divide and conquer method is more suitable for parallel computation than that of linear computation. So if we apply this on parallel computation, definitely this divide and conquer will give the best result, or that is quick result, efficient result. So this is how the divide and conquer method works. There are very important algorithms we are discussing in this chapter, like binary search, merge sort, quick sort, Strasson's matrix multiplication. There are many problems we are going to discuss in this chapter. So this is the control extract or the general method of abstraction of algorithm of how generally the divide and conquer works. Say we are passing the problem to this divide and conquer DNC, divide and conquer algorithm. If this problem is small enough, means we can solve it at a hand. Then we are going to return the solution of the problem. If it is not small enough, we are going to divide P into smaller instances, P1, P2, so on up to Pk, where k is greater than 1. After dividing the problems into smaller instances, then we are going to apply DNC again, that is recursively. Apply DNC again to each of the subproblems. Then we are going to combine the solutions of P1, P2, so on up to Pk. This is how this divide and conquer works. Most of the time, the method what we are applying to the original problem will be applied for the smaller problem also, and we are applying it recursively. So here the time consumed by, then we are going to calculate the time complexity or time consumed by this algorithm. If the problem is small enough, the total time taken by T of n, if it is equal to G of n. If the problem is not small enough, then T of n will be equal to T of n1 plus T of n2, so on up to T of nk. T of nk, where this k is the number of smaller instances. So we are going to discuss recurrence relation in the coming video, so that before we go for any particular algorithm, what we have to discuss in this chapter, we have to understand recurrence relation very importantly. In the coming video, I am going to discuss recurrence relations. Thank you.